Hello and welcome to this special broadcast. I'm Parikshit Luthra. The Lok Sabha elections are just days away and News 18 has conducted a pan-India opinion poll. We will bring you details of the poll over the next 2 days. But first up, here is the methodology that you need to understand. More than 118,000 people were polled across 518 Lok Sabha constituencies across 21 states. Essentially, the poll has covered 95% of the Lok Sabha constituencies in the country. Now, here are the key findings. How many people are satisfied with the union government's performance? Somewhat to very satisfied, around 80%. The number of people who are neither satisfied nor dissatisfied, that would be about 10%. Somewhat dissatisfied would be about 5%. Very dissatisfied, 4%. And don't know or can't say would be 1%. Let's look at some of the top issues for the voters. 56% of the people surveyed said jobs is the biggest issue for them. 47% people believe inflation is the biggest issue in the country. Law and order, 46%, corruption, 31%, and 26% people feel religion is the most important issue. Now, on the question on who is the most trustworthy leader, 58% people say it is Narendra Modi, 20% people say it's Rahul Gandhi, 11% Arvind Kejriwal, 11% for Mamata Banerjee. Now, will you vote for the BJP because of Modi, regardless of who your Lok Sabha candidate is? 85% of people have said that they will vote for the BJP because of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. 11% said no, and 4% said they either don't know or can't say. Let's take this forward with our guests. We are joined by Tom Vadakkan of the BJP, Matthew Antony of the Congress Party, Kartikeya Batra, visiting fellow at Sea Water, and senior journalist Sanjeev Srivastav. Kartikeya, if I can come to you, how do you see these numbers, especially about the mood of the nation right now? At least 67% of the people, as per our survey, believe that their economic situation is better than what it was 5 years ago. Keeping this, along with Prime Minister Modi's popularity, how do you think the mood of the electorate stands as of now?
Thank you, Parikshit. Honestly, this number of 67% who feel that their economic situation is better is a little different from what other surveys have been saying, but I'm not doubting the credibility of the number. But if that is indeed the case, then I think that the reasons for BJP to worry are probably even less. Because one thing we were picking up was that the economic situation probably is not that good, but the BJP is being pulled ahead by the Prime Minister's own popularity and its very strong socio-cultural agenda, which it has been able to pull over the last 9.5 years. Now that your survey is saying that 67% feels that the economic situation is better than what it was 5 years ago, just going by this number, plus the Prime Minister's own popularity, I won't be surprised if this is going in one direction. So that's my initial reaction. But one thing, Parikshit, that was very interesting was you asked people that how many of you would vote for the Prime Minister irrespective of the candidate. I think that is the main story. If 85% people are voting for the Prime Minister's face, then you see what sort of a head start the BJP has. That anti-incumbency against the candidates, anti-incumbency against the party is all getting neutralized by the Prime Minister's face himself. And that is the concern in the opposition. In the opposition, it's the other way around. Especially in the Hindi heartland states, the central leadership, the party symbol has not got the same credibility as the BJP. And there, at least in the Hindi heartland, I must repeat, the individual candidates have to pull a lot for them. In other parts of the country, primarily the South, for example, it's not the same. The Congress probably, the symbol is strong. The national leader also has more traction. But this 85% figure for me is the biggest headline, that it's the Modi story all the way. Now, this is good for the BJP right now. But if I were a long-term planner, I would also worry what after Mr. Modi. But probably that's another show for another day.
Right. Right, that is for another day, of course. Let me go across to Tom Vadakkan of the BJP. Tom Vadakkan, how do you see these survey numbers? And I'd like to ask you about top issues for the voters. 56% people saying jobs is the biggest issue, 47% saying inflation, 46% saying law and order. Do you feel that people expect the government to perform economically, and the economic performance of the government would be test across the country in this election?
Well, I really don't know. I mean, this is one statistics we have put forward, and I do believe it is correct. But on the sides of statistics, whether it is the IMF or other data that we have procured or has come into public domain, it's clearly an indication that we are on a way ahead in terms of economic issues. Unemployment has been an issue in every election. I mean, take the history of any election. Can there be a solution to it? We have a huge population. In the entry of the private sector is a huge factor. Investments are being made, infrastructure being developed. And this is not something happening in one particular state. This is happening across the board. So when development takes on infrastructure, employment comes, it's part of the package that comes in. Because if you develop the infrastructure across the country the way Prime Minister has given the initiative and has been happening, you've seen the roads in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and other states, Karnataka, the metro connection, the airports that are coming up. And with all this infrastructure, somebody from India is being employed. It's all well to say unemployment is a huge issue. Unemployment is being addressed. We may not have achieved certain targets which certain opposition parties have put up, but in real terms, we are at a situation where we are delivering. We have created that infrastructure for employment. Inflation is under control. It is not the same inflation that was there earlier.
Tom Vadakkan,
and there is more
I'll get a quick word in from
today.
Sanjeev Srivastava and Matthew Antony, and I'll return to you. We've got a whole lot of statistics, a whole lot of survey points to discuss. Sanjeev Srivastava, the government has been expressing confidence. They are saying we're thinking about what is going to be the 100-day agenda after the general election. They're talking about a Viksit Bharat agenda roadmap in the budget. If we look at the survey statistics, 80% respondents have said that they are satisfied with the union government's performance. 68% respondents say they're optimistic about the future. Considering that Lok Sabha elections are often a popularity contest for the central leader, how do you think the ruling party is poised as far as the Lok Sabha election goes right now?
So very good evening, Parikshit and my fellow panelists. So it's very obvious from your figures that the government has a head start. And even without these figures, that is the general perception in the country that this government has a head start. Modi is the #1 leader, and under the leadership of Prime Minister, the party should come back again to power for a third term for Mr. Modi. Now, the real issue is, like you just not said, Parikshit, the government is talking about the agenda of first 100 days. We know the another slogan which is being talked about is बार 400 पार या 400 के कितना नजदीक जाएंगे. So that I think is part of building the narrative. So nobody talks about किसकी government आने वाली है, who will come to power. Everybody is talking about whether it will be 400, what will be agenda of the first 100 days. Somebody is saying that Mr. Modi is already planning for not 3.0, i.e. this 2024 election, but 4.0 2029 election. So I think that's part of the BJP's very smart narrative building exercise that just shift the goalpost so much ahead that at least this election's outcome is more or less decided and accepted, which is actually the case also. But I think the real fight is whether the BJP is going to repeat its 2019's performance, whether they are going to cross 300. They got 303, if I remember right, last time. So the real fight is still, I think, between the political parties inside their hearts. It is still about forming the government. First target 272, second target crossing last election's mandate, and then of course how much more you can improve on that. So it's, I think, still work in progress, and also the outcome we cannot be so sure vis-a-vis 2019 as to how much higher, around the same mark or little less or more it will be. But yes, I think a consensus has emerged that it will be a third term for Mr. Modi. But with what margin is where the consensus is not there. And these statistics are all, like if 80% people are somewhat to very satisfied, why do 56% people have their main consideration as jobs? So even while Mr. Vadakan is saying that we are addressing the issue, people don't put their number one agenda of jobs if that issue was addressed, according to them.
Okay.
Or if 40% are still talking.
All right. Let me get...
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Matthew Anthony, to get you in quickly, clearly the Congress, the India Alliance has a lot of work to do. If we look at the popularity survey that we've done, 58% have said that they see Prime Minister Modi as a trustworthy leader. 20% pick Rahul Gandhi, 11% pick Arvind Kejriwal, 11% pick Mamata Banerjee. Now, what is the task cut out for the Congress Party, for the India Alliance? Today, you announced 5 points, 5 schemes that you'd like to bring for women in case the India Alliance comes to power. How do you see these numbers, and what will the India Alliance do in order to capture the imagination of the voter?
Parikshit, thank you for taking me in the show, and good evening to all other panelists. I have a small difference of opinion with the numbers, because you said that 56% is having unemployment as an issue, 47% is having inflation as an issue, 46% is having law and order as an issue, then corruption and all other things. Out of the 118,000 sample size, if you have these numbers, then you can never have 80% satisfied with the central government, because there is so much of dissatisfaction, and that is a major issue which we are focusing on in the 2024 elections. Second, which I want to focus is on, and there's a marketing saying always, because many people here are pretty good marketing people also, that you don't peak before it is the right time to peak. And Modi government is peaking before the right time is there. The elections are not even announced. The campaign is not even onto the full switch mode. What is really happening is Modi is desperate, or BJP is desperate to show that they are coming completely as a favorite. I'll cite a few more examples. When the results were out, I was just Googling out in all the other news portals about what is this results showing us. If you really look at it in an analytical way, you can see all the press releases were from a press release which is issued out to them, because the content is the same. Each media house has to report it differently. It has to be neutral. Then, there has to be the other parties' names and all other things like that. But it is only a question or a press statement which is released from Modi's office, stating out how the PM schemes are being relevant with the people, how the PM is popular with the people. It looks very orchestrated to a large extent. And that is exactly the concern. Now, you look at the people, you look at the issues, you look at the unemployment. A lot of 44.6% of the youngsters between 20 to 24 are unemployed. Almost 33% of the graduates, postgraduates, and PhD people are unemployed. You look at the women issue, 31,516 were the rape cases registered in 2022, 86 rapes per day. And the farmers issue. We have made promises on the MSP. We have made promises for the youngsters on the employment. We have announced that we will fulfill the 30 lakhs government jobs, which is vacant. Now, today we have made the Mahalakshmi promises of giving 1 lakh to the poorest women. And the BJP is claiming that only 11% is the poorest in the country at this point of time. And then we have also said that 50% reservation for women. So when you look at it, the campaign has not yet begun.
Okay.
The announcements of the announcement of the candidates.
That's an important point.
So we are very sure that we are going to make the government, despite all the PR exercises, despite all the psychological manipulation which is being done, orchestrated by the BJP. It is the people's mandate for electing the India Alliance and Congress back to power in 2024. That's a limited point which I have to make here. Thank you.
Okay, that is your view, Matthew Anthony. Let's see what happens in the days to come. But one important point that came out from your answer is that the Congress believes the NDA government, the BJP, is peaking too soon. Let's look at the state-wise numbers first. Let me begin with the state of Bihar. The NDA is projected to sweep Bihar, according to the News 18 poll. We're getting you the numbers right here. Now, as far as the share projection goes, for the 40 Lok Sabha seats in Bihar, NDA vote share is coming at about 58%, 28% for the India Alliance, and 14% for others. Now, as far as the seat projection goes, and let's also remember that the BJP NDA seat sharing arrangement is yet to be finalized, but NDA, according to our survey, is predicted to win 38 seats in the state of Bihar to go to the India Alliance. Let's also look at the state of Kerala. Now, Congress is in the driver's seat over here. The BJP may open its account. Let's look at the Kerala vote share picture right now as far as the Lok Sabha seats are concerned. 47% seats is what we are predicting for the UDF. As far as the NDA goes, it could be around 18%, and LDF would be around 35%. Let's look at the seat sharing projection for the state of Kerala. So we are expecting around 14 seats to go to the UDF, around 4 to the LDF, and 2 seats to the NDA Alliance. So NDA had won 0 seats in Kerala last time around. This time, according to this survey, we can expect them to open their account. Let's look at the state of Madhya Pradesh. Thumping win is projected for the BJP in this state of Madhya Pradesh. If you look at the vote share across 29 seats of the Lok Sabha, 55% go to the NDA, 38% with the India Alliance, and others would have around 7%. Let's look at the seat projection for the Lok Sabha election in Madhya Pradesh across 29 seats. 28 go to the NDA, 1 goes to the India Alliance, and 0 for other candidates and independents. Let's also look at the state of Tamil Nadu. Very crucial election. The BJP, the India Alliance have been working very hard here. Now, the DMK Congress Alliance is in the lead in the state of Tamil Nadu. BJP may fare well. Let's also look at the vote share. 13% for the NDA, 51% for the India Alliance, 36% for others. Now, if you look at the seat distribution, who's projected to win how many, 5 seats are expected for the NDA. India Alliance looking to make a big splash in the state of Tamil Nadu with 30 seats, and 4 for other parties and independents. Let's now look at the state of Haryana, and Haryana has seen a lot of changes. Naib Singh Saini being appointed as Chief Minister, Manohar Lal Khattar had to step down, and today we've got news that he will be fighting from the state of Karnal. If you look at the vote share projection across 10 seats, 62% go to the NDA, 29% to the India Alliance, 9% to others. As far as seat projections go, we are expecting the NDA to win all 10 seats. India Alliance will not open its account according to the survey, and none for independents. So rather strong numbers there for the NDA Alliance in Haryana, even though they have done some damage control after they broke ties with Dushyant Chautala. Let me go back to our guests right now. Kartikeya Batra, how do you see these leads for the BJP, for the NDA Alliance in the state of Bihar, in Haryana?
Parikshit, I think that I'm sure there is a margin of error plus minus here. Barring that, I'm not very surprised with what you're predicting. So, for instance, I would say that Haryana, if not 10-0, it'll probably be 1-9, 2-8, at most 3-7. So that's fairly understandable. Bihar, my sense is that 238, India may do a little better, but it'll be tough for them to cross the double-digit mark. So again, in the range of, maybe it'll be 535 or 832 as of now. This might change over time. But again, this is all plus minus or within the margin of error. What is very surprising for me is that BJP is picking up 2 seats in Kerala and 4 seats in Tamil Nadu. Now, I'll be very interested in understanding where these seats are coming from. So that for me is the bottom line. Madhya Pradesh, again, as expected, that 28-1. I can also tell you that 1, I think, is Chhindwara. So the Congress's expectation would be that, in states like Madhya Pradesh, in states like Haryana, they don't have to do like a 70-80% strike rate. Their target would be to be in that 20-30% strike rate. And I think that for them would be a good performance. So in Madhya Pradesh, if they can make this 1 into 4 or 5, that won't be a bad performance given the history over the last 2 Lok Sabha elections. In Haryana, as I said, instead of 10-0, if they can make it 3-7. And by the way, Haryana will vote very differently between the Lok Sabha elections right now and the Assembly elections. So in Haryana, the Congress may have a chance. And that's probably one of the reasons why the CM was changed, because there was some anti-incumbency against him personally, and the BJP took corrective action. So as I said, in the Hindi heartland states that you've shown, this is not very different from expectation, although I think that India might do a little better. But what's really surprising is that BJP is picking up 4 seats in Tamil Nadu and 2 seats in Kerala. So that is very interesting, because if that's happening,
right, let me get in quick.
then that means that the BJP
Okay.
is kind of opening the gates in the south beyond Karnataka.
All right, let's go across to our other guests very quickly. Matthew Anthony, these are also some states such as Kerala, such as Tamil Nadu, such as Haryana for that matter, where Congress is strong. It has a strong framework on the ground. Even in Bihar, you've worked hard in order to get the alliance right, the caste arithmetic right as well. How does the Congress stand in these states? How do you see these numbers coming out?
As far as we are concerned, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, BJP is not going to open up the account. With respect to Bihar, we can see the wave of Tejaswi really ruling up the Bihar population in terms of exciting them and giving them a promise. Because he offered a 10 lakhs job when he swore in last time, and he offered 5 lakhs. He fulfilled 50% of that one before getting out of the government. Now, there is a wave for Tejaswi as well as for Rahul Gandhi in Bihar. That's the sign of desperation which BJP is showing to project that they are winning and sweeping Bihar, because they're scared and they fear that they will lose Bihar or they will have a significant loss in Bihar. Madhya Pradesh, also you can see the impact of Hemant Soren's tribal belt will have an impact, because Hemant Soren was a ground level leader of the tribals and he has been insulted by the BJP government, and this will have its impact in the tribal belt of Madhya Pradesh as well. Now, coming to Haryana, you all know, and we all know, that the chief minister was changed in the last moment. There is anti-incumbency, the farmers issue, the Agniveer issue. All these are issues with the wrestlers issue. So it is not going to be a clean sweep for BJP in Haryana also. So we can see the desperate actions of BJP to prove that they are going to open up account beyond Karnataka in the state of Tamil Nadu as well as in Kerala, which they are not going to. And they are fearing a significant loss in Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Haryana, which is not going to happen.
Quick questions from Sanjeev Srivastava and Tom Vadakan. Tom Vadakan, a question that a lot of our panelists are asking. Which are these 2 seats where you expect BJP to do well in Kerala, 4 seats in Tamil Nadu? How do you expect the BJP to perform in these states? What's changing in terms of the BJP's campaign on the ground?
I was in touch with some of the Karyakartas from different sections of society. And from the information that I have, there is a possibility of 4 seats. There's a huge fight, and from Trivandrum to Thrissur, we have a situation that will surprise a lot of people. I mean, of course, the Congress has its rights to believe what they believe. And you've seen what has happened in Haryana. And Annamalai is leading the show in Tamil Nadu. And we can see the kind of reactions that are coming in. I mean, you must be blind to believe that we're not just breaking ice, we are moving very forward in that. Today, there was an interview of Annamalai. He said 25% confirmed among the seats. So we have very high belief that Tamil Nadu will deliver, so will Kerala. And we are not at all pessimistic about South. We are confident that we'll deliver in Karnataka. And your survey is clearly indicative of the situation. I mean, you can say things. This is the kind of script that we always do when you're at the other side. You've got a scripted view, and then you say, well, this is all, thank God they said that your survey is incorrect, or, I mean, that's tantamount to saying that. But the reality is, when you do a survey, you go and ask people, and then you get reports. And my report is that we are going about to almost 4. And God willing, everything will be wonderful. And Congress will have to do a lot of
Mr. Vadakan?
Soul searching.
Okay, Mr. Vadakan, I'll quickly go across Sanjeev Srivastava. 1 seat to watch out for in Kerala would be Thiruvananthapuram, where Shashi Tharoor will be up against Minister of State for Electronics and IT, R. Chandrasekhar. Let me go back to Sanjeev Srivastava. Sanjeev Srivastava, a final question to you. Recently, after the assembly elections, we had seen the BJP replacing the chief minister. We've seen that in Haryana just yesterday as well. BJP is known to not let things or not take it easy ever before election. So how do you see some of these changes which have been made, one in Haryana just yesterday?
Well, the BJP really tries and mostly succeeds in having its fingers on the popular pulse. So they do these changes and they can make any and every change because the central leadership is strong. There is no opposition. And in cases like Haryana, you have a chief minister who is a very devout party worker, old RSS hand, and so no personal ambition and all that. But my big takeaway really of this poll or all these conversations around the election outcome is, see, the BJP, even if it repeats its performance of 2019 in the Hindi heartland, which may not be so easy, it just reaches the 300 mark of 2019 outcome. It has to score in south of Vindhyas. Now, whether there Tom Vadakan will be right that they'll gain 4 or 5 seats in Tamil Nadu and 2 in Kerala and some others here and there. Their numbers is likely to come down in Karnataka where they did very well last time. So my academic question really remains, how, because they maxed out in the Hindi heartland, other than UP where they can gain a few more seats. Rest everywhere, they will be having a very tough fight. And if they concede some, where are they making up that loss from? And that's the big question for 2024 as we speak. Things may change in the coming weeks. But as we speak, that's the big question. How do they cross that 2019 performance as things are stacked up on ground right now? It looks very difficult.
Okay. All right. So you are saying that that will be the litmus test of the BJP's economic performance across different sectors if they cross the performance of 2019. With that, it's a wrap on this special broadcast. But don't go anywhere. News continues on CNBC TV 18. Hello and welcome to this special broadcast. I'm Parikshit Luthra. The Lok Sabha elections are just days away and News 18 has conducted Pan-India opinion poll. We will bring you details of the poll over the next 2 days. But first up, here is the methodology we have adopted. More than 118,000 people were surveyed across 518 Lok Sabha constituencies across 21 states. Essentially, the poll has covered 95% of the Lok Sabha constituencies in the country. Now let's look at the projection in some of the key states, starting with Punjab. Numbers coming in. Punjab vote share projection for the Lok Sabha. 13 seats in Punjab. We are expecting the NDA to have a vote share of 13%, 38% for the Congress party, 15% for Aam Aadmi Party, and 22% for Shiromani Akali Dal. So how does this really translate into seats in Punjab? Well, it is 3 seats for the NDA. We're looking at about 7 seats for the Congress, 2 for the Aam Aadmi Party, 2 for the Shiromani Akali Dal and 1 for the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's look at Delhi's vote share projection at this juncture. Remember, Delhi has 7 seats. We're looking at a 58% vote share for the BJP in Delhi. We're looking at 39% for the India Alliance and 3% for others. If we look at the seat projection for Delhi across 7 seats, we're looking at a clean sweep for the NDA. Let's look at the opinion poll for the state of Himachal Pradesh. Now, if you look at the 4 seats there, 67% of the vote share is expected to go to the NDA, 27% to the India Alliance, and 6% to others. Let's look at how the seats could be distributed across 4 Lok Sabha seats. Well, it's going to be a clean sweep according to the survey for the NDA and none for the India Alliance or other parties. Let's now go across to our guests. We are joined by Tuhin Sinha of the BJP. We are joined by Mahima Singh of the Congress Party. We're joined by Naivan Sharma, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. We're also joined by senior journalist Rashid Kidwai and senior journalist Pankaj Sharma, who is also the former media advisor to Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Kamal Nath. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin with Rashid Kidwai. Rashid Kidwai, looking at the survey numbers and some of the changes that the BJP has made in the seats, in the list that have been announced over the last few days, how do you think the BJP is poised and how they are strategizing to improve their tally over 2019?
Thank you, Prakshit. I think it's a very determined bid on the part of BJP to retain and maximize their gains. Look at Delhi. I think they have changed, 6 sitting MPs. There is no plausible explanation other than the fact that Aam Aadmi Party and Congress alliance is there, so BJP doesn't want to take a chance. But it's a very good strategy. I am very surprised by Himachal Pradesh, 67%. Remember, there is a Congress government in Himachal Pradesh. So there is so much of change. I think this is one reason Congress needs to ponder over. Very quickly on Punjab, I think the findings may disappoint Aam Aadmi Party, but it shows Congress in a very good light. If Congress can get 7 Lok Sabha seats, it will be a very big achievement. But overall, very dismal picture for Congress and India Alliance, and thumbs up for the BJP as far as this survey is concerned.
Right. Let me go across to the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson of the program, Naivan Sharma. Naivan, let me ask you, how do you expect the Aam Aadmi Party to perform in Delhi, in Haryana, in Punjab for that matter, especially in Punjab? How do you think the India Alliance will perform versus the NDA?
Yeah, good evening to all your viewers. And as far as Punjab is concerned, see, I was just watching your numbers in Punjab. And whosoever would be watching these numbers in Punjab would be rather smiling on this, where NDA is getting 3 seats and Aam Aadmi Party is getting 1 seat. If you go in villages of Punjab, you're going to see posters, banners stating that people from BJP, people from Akali Dal are not allowed to enter inside the village. And this is not just 1, 2, thousands of small villages, they have these banners. And I don't know, with due respect, whosoever has done this survey, I totally disagree with this. And Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab is a government that's totally running for the people. We have been doing things that have never been done in the past. 90% of the people in Punjab are getting free electricity, 42,000 government jobs just in 1.5 years. So the work that we are doing, is totally a people's government. And we are sure that we are going to get 13 out of 13 seats, 0 seats for the BJP. And as far as Delhi is concerned, in Delhi, we are fighting with the Congress and we have an alliance. And BJP has already replaced most of the member of parliament. That shows that they are also not even confident in Delhi. In Delhi people are with Arvind Kejriwal. Delhi people are with Arvind Kejriwal model of governance. They know who are honest people, who are the people who are going to sit there and fight for them, who are the people who are going to support the policies of the government and not restrict and not create problems and hindrances in every policy of the government. People are going to give 0 seats to BJP in Delhi. People are going to give 0 seats in Punjab. That's the reality.
Okay, let me now go across to Tuhin Sinha of the BJP. Tuhin Sinha, on one hand, our survey, and if we can show the numbers for the satisfaction with the economic performance of the government and what people expect in terms of economic performance in future, how many are sure that they will see a good economic future? Clearly, the advantage right now, as per our survey numbers, which you will see on your screens in just a bit, give BJP and the NDA alliance an edge. Having said that, they have made key changes. Just look at the list that has been announced today by the BJP. They have fielded Manohar Lal Khattar from Karnal. If you look at Delhi, for example, out of 7 seats, they have only retained Manoj Tiwari. 6 of the Lok Sabha faces in Delhi have been changed. Tuhin Sinha, what does this say about the strategy of the BJP? On one hand, yes, the survey shows there is high level of satisfaction with the Prime Minister. People are going to be voting for the BJP because of the PM face, regardless of the candidate. But at the same time, why is the party feeling the need to change some of these key players?
Good evening, Parikshit. Good evening, everybody. The only reason we changed some of the MPs is because we have a massive bench strength. Today, BJP is the largest party in the world with over 20 crore members. And yes, the only time you change members of parliament is 1, when there is an accountability and performance attached to every seat, and 2, there is a massive bench strength. Why should any political party or any journalist have a problem with us giving giving a chance to new faces. We believe that winnability is extremely important in politics. And, if we don't make these changes, we would end up being the Congress way, which is never going to happen. So I think the difference between the two parties is very clear. We are futuristic. We have a plan in place for the next 2 decades, both for the country and for the party. The Congress and other, opposition parties don't have a plan for the next 20 years.
Okay, let me go across to Mahima of the Congress party. Ms. Mahima, let me ask you about the survey in terms of the most trustworthy leaders. 58% of the respondents, as per our survey, have said it is Narendra Modi, 20% for Rahul Gandhi, 11% for Arvind Kejriwal, and 11% for Mamata Banerjee. Now, AAP, Congress and TMC are all part of the India Alliance. Having said that, how are you going to beat the NDA on popularity? How is the Congress going to make sure that the seat-sharing arrangements gets absolutely right? Because there has been some feedback coming in that the Congress has been slow to take off, whereas the BJP and the NDA's preparation has been at a much higher level over the last several months.
Parikshit, if you could just reiterate the question, because there was some connectivity issue. I lost your voice in between.
All right. I'd like to speak about the popularity numbers over here. In terms of the most trustworthy leaders, we're putting those numbers on our screens as well shortly. 58% of the respondents, Ms. Mahima, have said it is Narendra Modi who's the most trustworthy. 20% said Rahul Gandhi, 11% for Arvind Kejriwal, 11% for Mamata Banerjee. Now, when it becomes a popularity contest, when people are voting for the BJP because of the Prime Minister's performance and the work done by the government over the last 5 years, they are expressing confidence in the work of the government. How will the Congress and the India Alliance capture the imagination of the voter?
I would say that looking at your sample size, I think the people who have been asked these questions, number one, this is not even doesn't constitute even 0.1% of the total population of this country. And I think the questions should have been asked of the Protestants in Ladakh sitting on a fast unto death in Ladakh with Sonam Wangchuk. They should have been asked of the farmers that are being subject to tortures at behest of the government in Haryana, Punjab border, Punjab borders. They're sitting there on UP borders for almost a month now. They should have also been asked of the women who are getting raped daily. They should have also been asked of the youngsters, the youth that are unemployed today and in massive numbers. But I'm very sure that the few lakhs, or probably the number that I have is around 1,08,000 that you have surveyed across, I'm very sure do not represent those who are at a very poor position at behest of this government, the current government, which is ignorant of the needs of the day of this population. And in fact, 59%, merely 59%, I would say, in spite of all the impeccable support system that this government and Mr. Modi has, is also appalling. Because you see, Rahul Gandhi ji stands at 21%, when he's the only voice talking about social justice in this country. And we do not have the means to advertise our endorsements, our promises to the country as the Modi government has. So I would certainly say that these surveys, these numbers reflect of the impeccable support system that the Modi government has, and yet they are not sufficient, and yet one should look at the ground realities of the country. I'm very sure that these people who have been questioned are also not aware of the rising prices. LPG prices, Mr. Luthra, have gone up by 120%. The petrol prices have gone up by 37%, the diesel prices by 64%, milk prices by 71%, mustard oil prices by 59%, and flour prices by also 59%. I'm very sure that these people who have voted in these surveys are not aware of these prices. They are not aware that the indirect tax collection today, 64% of the indirect tax collection comes from 50% of the poorest of this country, whereas the 10% richest actually contribute to very less. So you see, these numbers to me appear very skewed, and there's an imbalance of proportion.
All right, Mahima Singh, that is your viewpoint. Let's see how things work on the ground in the days to come. Let me go across to Pankaj Sharma, someone who has also worked very closely with Kamal Nath in the past. Mr. Pankaj Sharma, if we look at the survey in terms of satisfaction with the Madhya Pradesh government's performance, if we can have those statistics on our screen, 62% people say that they are very satisfied, 15% say they are somewhat satisfied, neither satisfied nor dissatisfied would be about 13%, 67% are very satisfied with the Chief Minister's performance, 18% somewhat satisfied. How do you see these numbers coming out? What do you think will be the big challenge for the India Alliance, for the NDA in the state of Madhya Pradesh?
See, it is your opinion poll, so commenting on the outcome of this opinion poll is not appropriate for me. But let me tell you, to me, the outcome seems hugely unrealistic. The ground situation is different. Madhya Pradesh ground situation is also very different. It's a different matter that recently BJP won the elections there, but farmers are so dissatisfied, youth is so dissatisfied, everyone is, agitating. So how can you give these this sort of outcome that these many percentage of people are satisfied with Madhya Pradesh government? I don't think this is the situation. Also, for Himachal, Punjab, and Delhi, you are saying sweeping. Delhi BJP sweeping with 7 seats. Himachal, they are getting all those 4 seats. And in Punjab also, ground situation is BJP is number 4. Last time it won 2 seats. It may not win these 2 seats this time also. 267 candidates have been announced by BJP till now. And it is so clear from both the lists that how helpless BJP leadership is. It seems so tremendously under pressure that the party could not refuse the tickets to those whom it didn't want to make the candidate and had to accommodate many to whom it didn't want to give the ticket. So the internal situation is so volatile within BJP that after releasing the first list of 195 candidates in one go, BJP took 11 days to announce the second list, that too with the names of only 72 candidates. The announcement of second list took this much longer time, essentially because keeping out Nitin Gadkari's name in the first list became a very serious point of conflict between RSS and BJP top leadership, as party leadership was of the view to shift Gadkari from Nagpur, and he was adamant that he won't move.
All right.
So
Mr. Pankaj Sharma, let me also get in a word from Tuhin Sharma. Okay, Tuhin Sharma, respond to that. The word coming in from Pankaj Sharma and also Mahima Singh is that all is not well in the NDA. Look at what's happened in Madhya Pradesh. They've changed key faces. In Haryana, they've changed key faces. In Delhi, they've changed key faces. And I'd also like to ask you about certain findings of our survey. On one hand, yes, we get the view that 67% people feel that their economic condition is better than it was 5 years ago. 68% people feel they're optimistic about their future. But at the same time, 56% people feel jobs is the number one issue for voters. 47% feel it's inflation. 46% feel it's law and order. So on one hand, while people may be happy with the performance of the government, they want continuity, but they do feel that when it comes to jobs, inflation, law and order, a lot more needs to be done. Is that probably the reason that some of these big changes have happened across the state?
Well, Parikshit, first of all, you need to be better informed with the names of your representatives, because I'm Sinha, not Sharma. Of course, it doesn't make any difference for me, but those who believe in caste politics and are trying to divide the country on caste lines may have taken offense if you use the wrong surname on somebody. But anyway, when it comes to inflation, see, this Congress party is extremely ignorant, but then it tries to paint a picture as though the people of this country are ignorant. Retail inflation, as on current date, stands at around 5.1%. If you look at the employment data, if you go by a substantial, very comprehensive SBI report, the unemployment rate is at its lowest at 3.1%. So I don't think, this Congress party really does so much research. The infrastructure creation is of an unprecedented level with 11 lakh crore worth of capex, which is, allotted for this financial year. It simply cannot be jobless growth. But yes, the nature of jobs are changing. Gig economy has emerged in a big way. And that is why, the data is often not up to the mark. But the fact is, in terms of infrastructure creation, in terms of bringing 25 crore people out of the poverty line, in terms of reducing poverty in the country to, something in the vicinity of 3%, this government has done a remarkable job. And I think that is what will ensure that not only in Madhya Pradesh, but across the country. Maybe Punjab may be slightly different as you showed. But again, I don't believe that BJP will win 3 seats, at least double that number. But across the country, including in areas like Tamil Nadu, the BJP is going to surprise you.
All right. So you're saying you're expecting surprises in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala as well. Let me go back to Navyan Sharma of the Aam Aadmi Party. Navyan, I'd like to ask you about the India Alliance's strategy going forward. As a party member, are you satisfied with the way the India Alliance is functioning? What is the word? What is the campaign pitch that you would like to take to the voter in order to counter the BJP on its economic performance, on the schemes that they have announced? Over the last 3 to 4 months, we've heard projects worth 10 lakh crores being announced, almost 10,000 crore of airport projects. Every day, something or the other is being announced. So how will the Aam Aadmi Party and India Alliance counter this?
See, as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, we are a very responsible and dedicated member of the India Alliance. We are on the ground and we are working on the ground. Whatever seats we have got, we are giving 100% on the ground. We have reached the villages. We have formed village committees. We have formed circle in charges, and we are getting into campaign mode. And as you just said that there have been a lot of announcements. Yes, I agree with that there have been a lot of announcements, that they've just been announcements. The reality is far away from the announcements that they make. If you talk about Punjab, they are saying that BJP is going to win 6 to 7 seats, but the reality is that Punjab is an agriculture-dominated state. Farmers want to come to Delhi to register their protest against the promises that were done by the Prime Minister himself, but they have stopped them with the concrete blocks and wires, and they're throwing, they're pushing farmers back with bullets, and they're just trying to stop them. They treat them so badly. One farmer has lost his life. This is the condition. This is how they've been treating farmers. They have imposed NSA on the farmer. First time in the history of India, NSA has been imposed on a farmer. And they are telling farmers that don't go in protest, or we'll seal your property, we'll seal your bank accounts. This is how they have been treating the farmers. How do they even expect to get even 1% vote from an agriculture-dominated state like Punjab and Haryana, where they are treating farmers like this? If you talk about Haryana, they have been treating farmers so also, badly. They have been treating with...
Navyan, we're also putting on our screens survey numbers. 47% people in our survey saying they're very satisfied with the Punjab government's performance. 33% saying somewhat satisfied. 14% saying neither satisfied nor dissatisfied. And with that question, I'd also like to go back to the Congress spokesperson, Mahima Singh. Mahima Singh, do you think that the farmers' protests and issues faced by farmers, that is something that will give the Congress an edge in a state like Punjab? According to our survey, we are seeing 7 seats for the Congress in Punjab, 1 for the Aam Aadmi Party. What about Haryana as well? Do you feel that you will make strong gains there?
I think that Congress party is headed to a major gain, Mr. Luthra, because when our revered leader, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, walks on the roads that the taxpayers of this country walk on and their children walk on, striving through their lives every day, day in, day out. It is him who promises the people of this country that we will legislate for MSP ki guarantee. It is him who says that we will legislate for Pehli Naukri Pakki, just like we did right to food security, we did right to information, right to education. It is the Congress who guaranteed that, legislated to guarantee those rights. And it is us who, just like MG Narega and other legislations, will bring these legislations. Just today, we have also established our guarantees for Nari Nyay, for women. One woman out of every poor family should be given 1 lakh, a guarantee of 1 lakh every year. So these are the schemes, these are the issues we are talking about. It is the Congress party and Mr. Rahul Gandhi who have brought the unemployment issue back to the political electoral discourse, because the BJP had totally polarized this election as they have been doing before. They are best at headline management, fervent publicity. In spite of all of that, the survey, in spite of the limited size, as I have indicated before, which is just under 0.1% of the total population, it still reflects the inefficiency of the current government, I would say, because you will find out that more number of people that are voting for the popularity of Mr. Modi are ignorant of the schemes that this government has actually given. So if you look at those proportions, you see how these surveys play out actually out of proportion. They blow out of proportion certain issues and certain facts. Or certain imagery, I would say. These are skewed projections.
Mahima Singh, we'll have to take a break at this point. I'll request Tuhin Sinha, Mahima Singh, Pankaj Sharma, Navyan Sharma to stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We will be getting you Uttar Pradesh numbers when we are back after a break. Lok Sabha elections are just days away and News 18 has conducted a pan-India opinion poll to capture the mood of the nation. Now, before we reveal the details, here is the methodology. More than 118,000 people were polled across 518 Lok Sabha constituencies in 21 states. Essentially, the poll has covered 95% of the Lok Sabha constituencies in the country. Now, let's look at the projections in some of the key states, starting with the biggest of them all, Uttar Pradesh, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, let's begin with the vote share projection for Uttar Pradesh. Lok Sabha, 80 seats up for grabs. 57% is the vote share that we are predicting as per survey for the NDA, 26% for the India Alliance, and 9% for the BSP. Now, as far as seat projections go, this looks like a clean sweep for the NDA. 77 seats going to the NDA as per our survey, 2 to the India Alliance and 1 to the Bahujan Samaj Party. Now, let's look at the broad numbers as things stand as of now. Let's look at all the states. Let's start with Bihar. Out of 40 seats, the NDA poised to win 38, India Alliance 2. The state of Kerala, this is where the India Alliance has an edge at 18, NDA at 2. In Madhya Pradesh, with 29 seats, we're looking at a clean sweep for the NDA at 28 and 1 for the India Alliance. In Tamil Nadu, yes, this has been a big focus for the NDA, big focus for the India Alliance. Out of 39, we're expecting the India Alliance to win 30 and BJP and the NDA to open an account in states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala as well. In Haryana, it seems to be a clean sweep for the NDA with 10 seats. Punjab, 8 seats to the India Alliance. So it's advantage Congress, advantage Aam Aadmi Party, 3 seats for the NDA. In Himachal Pradesh, we're looking at a clean sweep with 4 seats. Delhi, this is a state where the BJP has changed 6 candidates out of 7. So in Delhi, we are still expecting the NDA to pick up 7 seats. And it seems that the India Alliance will not be able to open its account. In Uttar Pradesh, this is the biggest prize of them all with 80 giant seats. 77 here going to the India Alliance. India Alliance not doing very well with just 2 seats. So today we've given you figures for 242 Lok Sabha seats, and the NDA has a clear edge there with 174 seats in its favor, 61 for the India Alliance. So it's advantage NDA today out of 242 seats. Keep tuning into CNBC TV 18. We'll get you the rest of our survey as well. Let me now go across to our guests. We're joined by Tuhin Sinha of the BJP, Mahima Singh of the Congress and Aam Aadmi Party's Navyan Sharma. We also have with us senior journalist Pankaj Sharma. Also on the program is Samajwadi Party's Abbas Haider. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Abbas Haider, let me get you in for the Samajwadi Party's view. look at the numbers coming out of Uttar Pradesh. The sample size was 118,000 people across 518 constituencies. Now, when we ask you how things are for the India Alliance, we're looking at a clean sweep for the NDA this time around. Do you think the Samajwadi Party will be able to improve its performance? The India Alliance will be able to make a big dent in the state of Uttar Pradesh?
Certainly. If you talk about the survey, if I'll calculate 500 on 518 seat, so the if you talk about the ratio, it would be 1:100, 11,271 people. So that would be the ratio. And first of all, I'm not questioning your survey, but the problem here is in any survey. Surveys are based on assumption that the people who are being surveyed are telling the truth. But apparently here there might be some apprehension among the people. People may not tell the truth because there are certain fears among themselves. So that is a reality. I'm sure people by their ballot are going to tell that they are going to vote against the NDA and Bharatiya Janata Party, and they're going to vote for the India Alliance. And second thing, because Bharatiya Janata Party and the government has failed people of the country miserably on every front. They have just given false promises and nothing else. They have not delivered anything what they have promised. They were supposed to give 2 crore jobs every year. By now, they would have given 20 crore jobs. But what has the country got? The youth are asking for a job. Even if you talk about Uttar Pradesh, in every district, people are protesting against Bharatiya Janata Party government because they want jobs. Paper has got leaked. More than a dozen paper leak has been happened in Uttar Pradesh. If you talk about farmers, they want a guarantee on MSP. They are fighting for their right. And what the government is doing, they are throwing a bullet, through drones. So this is what has been happening. People want job, the people want development, and Bharatiya Janata Party is just trying to deviate them from the real issues. That is what they have done, and I'm sure that the result will be different. In Samajwadi Party, India Alliance, I'm sure we are working on all the 80 seats in Uttar Pradesh, and we are going to win most of them.
All right, Mahima Singh of the Congress, 59% of the people surveyed say that they are satisfied with the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's performance. And let's pull up the numbers on the government's performance as well. So the large numbers seem to be in favor of the BJP government in the state. How will you change the narrative, Mahima Singh, as far as the state of UP goes? When it comes to Uttar Pradesh, this has been a problem state for the BJP, for the Congress for a few years now, with not so strong ground architecture for the Congress party.
I would say, Mr. Luthra, that I am very sure that Giriraj Singh's constituency's BJP workers who showed him black flags just 2 days ago were not questioned in this survey. I'm also sure that in Amethi, BJP workers also were not questioned, and people were not questioned in this survey who just days ago, were speaking on a very popular news channel that not only has she not done any work in that constituency, but she has rather been the reason for the shutting down of the triple IT and the steel plant in Amethi. So the ground realities are very different. And I would choose to agree with the Samajwadi Party spokesperson when he says that, people have a certain amount of fear, because when the who's who of the country can be arbitrarily incarcerated, as a result of misappropriation of laws at behest of the government of the day, then common people, of course, they do not want to speak openly. They don't have the freedom to speak openly, rather, I would say. So this, again, you see the numbers that are being projected. I would rather politely beg to differ, as I've already cited, that your sample size is not even is less than 0.1% of the total population of this country. And I would rather like these questions to be asked of the people in Ayodhya, whose lakhs of people whose houses were razed because that corridor was being brought up, and those videos, the plight of those people has not been reflected anywhere across the media. I would also like the people in, elsewhere in UP, the youth of UP being questioned, who have faced major miseries at the behest of the government because the papers were leaked. Something as a Public Service Commission paper can be leaked in a state like UP, then, It's the government Ram Bharose in UP, basically. So I am very sure
All
that
right.
our promises, our
Mahima Singh.
guarantees to the people, which Mr. Rahul Gandhi projected when he was on Amethi, and you would have seen, rather, I would say, the images that came out of Amethi when Rahul Gandhi ji was traveling across Amethi, promising the youth Pehli Naukri Pakki and other guarantees. That is percolating to the people, and
Okay,
it will
Mahima
reflect
Singh,
in
when we speak about paper leak cases, we have seen paper leak cases and major issues like that being raised with
Of the
the
scale-
Congress government in
of the scale
Rajasthan
you're seeing
and the
now.
previous Congress government in Madhya Pradesh as well.
of the scale you're seeing now.
But let me get in a
Of
quick
the
word.
scale- of
Okay,
the
let me get in a
survey
word.
of the scale
Let me
you're
get in a
seeing.
word from Tuhin Sinha of the BJP. Okay, I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you, ma'am. Tuhin Sinha, if we look at the awareness about government schemes, if we can pull up the survey numbers on the schemes of the Narendra Modi government, Ujjwala Yojana, 61% people say they know about the scheme. Jal Jeevan Mission, 56%. Awas Yojana, 53%. PM Kisan, 51%. Jan Dhan Yojana, 51% of the people surveyed say they know about this. 40% for Ayushman Bharat. Now, what is the opposition trying to do, Tuhin Sinha? And it's quite clear from the statements made by all opposition leaders on our panel over the last 1.5 hours that you need to pin the government down on the economic performance, on jobs, inflation, law and order, corruption, religion, polarization. In recent Council of Ministers meetings, the Prime Minister has asked his party men, ministers, to go to the public to make sure that people know about the schemes that the BJP, the government has led over the last 9 years. The performance of these schemes need to be communicated. So do you think the communication of the government's performance and challenging and fighting the narrative of the opposition is going to be a challenge for the BJP in the upcoming Lok Sabha election? Tuhin Sinha.
Well, Parikshit, first of all, it was very amusing to see the Samajwadi Party spokesperson and the Congress spokesperson say that, in your polls, people have, shown a preference to BJP because of fear. Let me reassure you that the only people living in fear in Uttar Pradesh are gangsters like Atiq Ahmed, who, the Samajwadi Party had patronized and which the Congress Party had a soft corner for. None of the other people in Uttar Pradesh are living in fear. They are living in absolute, prosperity. Now, again, I have a slight, I think you would be lucky if you are right with the numbers. The BJP is expected to win at least 77, but I can tell you that this time it could well go up to 79 or 80. Right from the construction of the Ram temple to the flawless deliverance of all the government schemes. Again, when you talk about Ayushman Bharat, the number on your screen was 40%. I can tell you that most of the poor, and I travel extensively across the country, are aware of Ayushman Bharat. And in fact, even in cities, people come from villages to avail of the benefits of Ayushman Bharat. So I think that, Uttar Pradesh is the best example of the optimal deliverance which double engine Sarkar can bring. And you will see in the results, Congress, is struggling to even, if Congress is so confident, why is Rahul Gandhi not announcing that why is he not asserting himself as a candidate from Amethi? In fact, even when it comes to Rai Bareli, I doubt if they will be able to put up a winnable candidate. So I think the Congress is in the worst position over there, but the BJP is expected to win at least 77, and that could go well up to 79 or 80 this time.
Right. Pankaj Sharma, coming to you. When it comes to Uttar Pradesh, it was advantage NDA and BJP in 2019. It seems to be advantage BJP and NDA right now itself. Do you think the inauguration of the Ram Mandir may somehow just seal the election in the BJP in the NDA's favor?
I don't think the construction of Ram Temple will have much impact. And your figures, I don't want to comment on that, but your figures are so unbelievable. 77 out of 80 in UP, 38 out of 40 in Bihar. It's not possible. The ground situation is not that. Let me tell you that as per my information, and Tuhin Sinha ji would be knowing more, RSS has won BJP leadership, that it is winning its winning chances on 107 out of 303 seats are little poor this time. This means getting a clear majority could become difficult. Therefore, BJP taking great care in selecting candidates. Narendra Bhai Modi's popularity graph has actually gone down. And he is not in a position to get anyone win the elections in his name this time. And he understands this. RSS understands this. BJP understands this. So how can you, I mean, I can't believe that BJP can get 77 seats out of 80 in UP, 38 NDA will get in Bihar. That is not possible. Actually, they are losing seats in many states. There are states, 14 states. In 14 states, almost all the seats are with BJP already. In 14 states, there is only a scope of 10 seats in these 14 states. Delhi can be increased only by 10 seats. So they are losing seats in Haryana. They are losing seats in Madhya Pradesh. They are losing seats in Rajasthan. They are losing seats everywhere in Chhattisgarh. In South, they practically have no chance. You are giving them 5 seats in Tamil Nadu, which is impossible. Last time in Telangana, they got 4 seats. Those 4 seats also cannot be re-won by BJP this time. In other states, there are no chances. In Northeast, they are losing seats. In Assam, they are losing seats. So, I mean, these figures are really
Let me also get in Aam Aadmi Party's Naivan Sharma. All right. You don't agree with these numbers. We respect your view, Mr. Pankaj Sharma. Let me also get in the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson once again. Naivan Sharma, when it comes to popularity, even 2019 Lok Sabha election was a popularity contest. 2014 was a popularity contest as well. People saw Narendra Modi as a strong leader, and the question was, who else? Now, when you look at the survey, when it comes to the most trustworthy leaders, this is a point that we had taken up earlier, and I'll take this up with you as well. 58% of the people surveyed say it's Narendra Modi who's the most trustworthy. 20% say Rahul Gandhi. These numbers have changed now. In fact, it's 59% for Narendra Modi. When you speak about whether people will vote for BJP because of Modi, regardless of candidate, 85% people say they will be voting for the BJP because of Narendra Modi. So he remains the most popular figure for people to vote for BJP. He's also among the most trustworthy leaders in the country. Now, how do you really target that? Isn't that a challenge for the Aam Aadmi Party, the Congress and the India Alliance altogether?
See, with due respect, I respect your figures and numbers, but honestly, when you go on ground and you talk to people, especially in states where Aam Aadmi Party is directly involved, we are going on ground and talking to people. People don't bother this time about who's going to be the Prime Minister. People are not going to vote for the Prime Minister because people have been in a very bad condition. If you talk about their economic condition, if you talk about what the government has done for them, you were just now showing some figures with regards to Ujjwala Yojana. You were saying Ayushman Bharat. If you talk about the reality, they increase, the people know that they have increased the prices of cylinder 600 rupees, and then they have reduced it to by rupees 100 rupees. They understand this. It's not easy to fool people like this again and again. If you talk about Ayushman Bharat Yojana, you go on ground, talk to people, they will tell you that if you take your Ayushman card with yourself and you want to get the operation or any such thing done, the hospital are not accepting the card. They say that they don't get money from the government. So these are the small things that really affecting. If you talk about businesses, many MSMEs are closing because they are not getting any support from the government. Because of the GST, small businesses are forced to close. They are not happy with it. If you talk about Yuva, the Yuva is standing in lines for job. One job is there. When the government puts out one job, there are thousands of candidates applying for that job. For that matter, there was one job for Pune in Haryana, and there were more than 4,400 candidates ranging from PhD to MBAs to MCAs. This is the condition on ground. This is the reason, and if you see, this is the reason that they are not getting candidates. This is the reason that they have to remove candidates. If they were so sure that they're going to get 80% of the votes because of the name of our Prime Minister, why are they struggling in putting up new candidates? Why are they struggling in finding candidates? You talk about Punjab, you talk about Haryana, you talk about Delhi. They were not finding candidates, and if people are so much happy with the work that they have done, they have not been in this tough time. The reality is that in Punjab, in Haryana, in Delhi, wherever Aam Aadmi Party is fighting, BJP is not going to get even single seat. Your survey is showing that BJP is getting 10 seats in Haryana. They are not even going to get one seat in Haryana. They are not going to get one seat
All right,
in Delhi.
let me get
And
Tuhin
they're not
Sinha
going
of the
get one
BJP
seat
to
in
respond.
Punjab.
Tuhin Sinha, what the opposition has been saying over the last 2 hours on CNBC TV 18 is that there is anger among farmers. Now, farmers are a big vote bank in the country. Now, the recent protests show that they probably have not been happy with the government's promises and how those promises have actually been delivered on the ground, or to what extent have they been delivered. Do you think this is a challenge that the BJP will have to tackle on the ground? This is something which would be a cause for concern for you, Tuhin Sinha?
Well, when you talk about the farmer protests, they were restricted to a very small geographical area where obviously we are not in power. So that explains they were largely sponsored by the Aam Aadmi Party.
If you can also have numbers from Punjab and Haryana up.
So that
Please go ahead,
explains, so in fact, most of these protests were sponsored by the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress Party. And obviously that is the reason why they couldn't last for long. Fact is that when it comes to MSP prices, on an average, there has been a 70% increase in MSP prices from 2014 until now. Neighboring Haryana is procuring a record number of 14 crops at MSP prices, which no other state is doing. So I don't think these were manufactured protests largely, and that is one of the reasons why organically they could not sustain themselves for too long. And these are sporadic in nature, which explains once again why they are largely sponsored. Now, on a lighter note, since Mr. Pankaj Sharma has been repeatedly insinuating that RSS said this and RSS said that, which seems to be imagined by him rather than in real. Why doesn't he join the RSS? Why doesn't he join the BJP? That might be a better option because he seems to be privy to conversations which nobody in the BJP is aware of.
All right. Let's also get in a final word from all our panelists here. It has been a great discussion so far. Pankaj Sharma, looking at these numbers right now, the edge seems to be for the NDA. If you look at the survey numbers, you may or may not agree, and that is your view. But now, in order to capture the imagination of the voter, what is one thing, according to you, that India Alliance will have to do?
India Alliance is going to give a good fight this time. Of course, India Alliance had its own problems because it's a loose federation of 27 political parties. And BJP is not a political party. BJP is a regiment. It's a brigade. So when you are a political party and you have internal democracy in all the political parties, so this kind of a loose federation is bound to have some problems. But my point is, from where BJP is getting any additional seat? See, in 9 states and union territories, where there are 58 parliament seats, all of them are already with BJP. BJP won all of them last time. And in another states like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Karnataka, there are 107 seats in these states. Out of these 107, 97 are already with BJP. So a gap of only 10 seats. So my question is, Mr. Tuhin Sinha can enlighten me from where BJP is getting 370 seats. That means 67 additional seats than 303, which it won last time. That is the point. India Alliance has its own problem. India Alliance may win, may not win. That's a different thing. But, telling the nation that we are getting 370 seats this time is impossible. So you please first accept this.
All right, so let's see what happens in the days to come. The model code of conduct is yet to be announced, and we would probably see that in the next 3 to 4 days. But as we go, let's put up the statewide tally of the 242 seats that we have shown today. Let our viewers see where things stand as of now. Our survey had a sample size of 118,000 people who had been surveyed across the country. This is the figure that we're looking at. 174 for the NDA out of 242. Clearly an advantage for the NDA if we look at these numbers. Opposition, of course, contesting it. We'll be back tomorrow with more numbers, more analysis. So keep watching CNBC TV 18 for more.